Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back. I don't know why I said that so weird for My Hero Academia Season 8, Episode 5. Yeah, it is now, you saw me when I was pretty much clean shaven, before, but now it is officially November as of, today. I am now at the no shave point. I did shave roughly, it's about to be, like, 24 hours before November 1st, if that makes sense. So I'm technically one extra day, but who cares? Anyway, yeah, so as we watch through My Hero, you guys can watch my facial hair grow as well. I don't know how much it's going to grow. It might not be a lot, but I'm curious to see by the end of the month. Anyway, moving on. Something I kind of overlooked, and then I watched a reaction, or no, did I watch a reaction? Or just maybe it was no, I think it was just watching the beginning of the episode again. Um I realized that that All for One's mom was drinking while she was pregnant, you know? So I did kind of say that they seemed like they were just like normal kids that, had the tragedy of losing their mom at birth, or maybe he killed her, whichever one. But like I wonder if there was complications due to drinking, and that's why maybe Yoichi was a little more frail and All for One was a raging psychopath. Who knows? But I just wanted to point it out because I didn't talk about it in the last episode, and I felt kind of dumb for sort of overlooking it, because she threw the beer bottle or the alcohol bottle, and I was just like so focused on trying to figure out where we were and what we were doing that I just didn't like pay attention to that little detail. So, anyways, guys, yeah, crazy stuff. All for One gone seemingly, unless there's still a little bit of that essence that's gonna fight within uh Shigaraki's head. We still have to wait and see for that. But either way, it seems like we are now down to, Midoriya. Who knows if other heroes try to chime in or whatnot, and Shigaraki. I don't know that there's any other villains. I think it's just Shigaraki. He is all alone again. So yeah, let's see what happens this time. We're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Several days prior to the war. So this is the team. Hmm. Mirko's hair's shorter too because some of it got like ripped off while she was fighting, right? So I guess she just cut it shorter. What a badass. Damn. I talked about a long time ago if Shigaraki's power could get so strong that he could just destroy the earth, Like, he can already spread, and once we saw, like, I think it might have been at that destruction during that battle in Season 6, when he was, like, in that facility, that hospital, and then just did the whole city, pretty much. I was just like, what if he got to the point of being able to do the whole Earth? I'm not really sure if that's, like, to the extent that he was talking about, but, ugh. I don't know, because he said, like, we need a foundation to build off of. It could have been more metaphor. I also watched some a reaction of the first couple episodes, and one of the guys was saying that it'd be cool if we got like several episodes. Like he's predicting like 4 episodes of epilogue when they're older. I think that'd be really cool. I don't have subtitles for whatever he was saying. Oh wow, in a week's time. Wow, that's what he wants to do. God damn. I mean, we just had that conversation. Oh shit. Oh my god. We are just fighting over the ocean. Oh, I was wondering what his reaction would be. Jeez. Danger sense. Ooh, his fingers. God damn. What did he use to hack off his fingers? I couldn't tell. Wait, what? History's greatest villain. Oh shit. Wait, what about danger sense? Oh, they like knew. Wow. Okay, what's going on? I don't have subtitles for this line again. What's happening? I don't know what's happening. Oh, did he steal a quirk that quickly? What? Or did he like what? Damn it, now Shigaraki has danger sense. Oh my god, that's crazy. It happened so fast. It wasn't even like a tug of war this time. Oh, we're going gear shift now, huh? Yeah. Damn, Midoriya doesn't have it now either. Ooh, that was kind of cool. Jeez. Well, oh, I love that. That's what he thinks about it. I didn't even remember that part, but he does. You know. Damn. Okay. So the stockpile, the stuff that Shinomori stockpiled is still there, right? Crazy that they talk like they have the ability to run. It's crazy how this whole like system works. Yeah, just decay the ground. Oh my god. Uh-oh. Oh shit. There. I didn't even think about erupting. Yeah. Yeah. All for One wanted to rule everything, so he still wanted something left to rule. Shigaraki wants to destroy it all. Come on, Midoriya. God. I get Midoriya wants to save him, but how in God's name? Oh shit! What? Did he just jack up enough that he... What? Oh shit! It's like the lines in the opening. I mean, I guess that we saw it in the opening, so we knew it was coming, but... Ah, mid card. Get out of here. That's crazy. Ah, nice. It is, but... Oh yeah, he has that quirk too. Ooh. Oh my god. Oh, the animation. Jeez. Please don't tell me he got another quirk. Crazy. Not good. Yo. Oh no. How do we deal with the recoil? It's just black whip between beneath his skin. That's insane. Oh my god. Just all he keeps thinking about, man. Midoriya. interesting. Jeez. Anna Shimura. Oh. Damn. God, I love the way they're making him look this episode. So crazy. Hmm. Oh. Until that lid breaks, I won't stop punching. Wow, what a line. Oh. It's forming like his full cowling used to form, with like the X on his face. That's actually really cool. Oh. Oh, interesting. Some advice. No. Are they gonna, like, try to save him from within? Dude, the subs are awful this episode. I don't know what's going on. Ooh. The soundtrack in the background, too. That's gonna be one hell of an end. I mean, damn. Jeez. Ooh. Interesting. That would be a crazy way to end this fight. Hmm. I don't quite understand. Some system for partial transfer. We had that during the movie, I guess. What? So somehow transfer the consciousness, but not. Damn. Gear shift is really powerful, but I guess you do have the drawback. Hmm. Oh. Okay. Well, damn. Oh my god. Whoa. He almost had like a danger sense. Oh, the art, man. Yeah, oh, he looks crazy. The sharp fingers. The little bit, like, that might have been, like, I wrote his name down before. The, No, I didn't write his name down. Oh, come on, man. Did I really not? Oh, Kudo. There we go. I did. I thought I did. Was that, like, Kudo at the end of his hand? Okay. No, I liked the episode. My only problem was they took a really roundabout way to explain what was going on. And because of that, it felt a little bit like they were trying to debate the audience, if that makes sense. They were like, oh, let's just transfer one for all to him. They're making the audience, by saying that, they're making the audience think that Midoriya is going to give up all of his power, every last bit of his strength, he's going to go back to being quirkless for them to try this. And then he's like, No, what I'm really talking about is you transfer my consciousness, but try not to transfer the quirk. And stupid fly. Yeah, you fly away, you bitch, get away. Oh, I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna activate my one for all. Motherfucker, he's taunting me. No preview. That is it, guys, for episode 5. Yeah, I don't know what was up with my subtitles though, but sorry, the fly really distracted me. Anyway. I want to go back to the very... Can I get that subtitle line to pop up? I think I missed it. Where was that moment? It was pretty early on. About a dozen seconds ago. Yeah, we had the baby poof. Yeah, there's just no subtitles there. Yeah, there was a few lines in this episode that just didn't have subtitles. Let me look it up, see if other people are talking about it. Uh... Yeah, someone else said missing subtitles. Um... Yeah, someone else said the same thing. Yoichi, Star, and a random old woman in the shelter had their dialogue untranslated. Yeah. Um... I was hoping someone would have had the translation, but I guess whatever. I guess I'll just have to wait until they update it, and then like hopefully they fix it, and then I'll just have to watch it again. So unfortunately, yeah, whenever we transition to like the first scene of the round table of guys inside Midoriya, we what's it called? I missed the line there. Also, whatever Star said, and then whatever the person in the shelter said. I feel like there might have been one more thing, but it doesn't matter. I think I got the gist of what they were saying. But yeah, anyway. What I was saying before the distraction of the fly, who is still buzzing around my head like a nuisance. I wanted to see. I'm gonna gamble on you ninth. They talk about the crack that's in Shigaraki. It is really. I will say it is like a weird way of handling like this mental thing that's going on with Shigaraki. Um, and it's also like good, but I feel like rather than me intuitively understanding what's going on with that, um, it's more so me just trying to understand it, right? Like, oh, we're talking about he has this like black ball of information within him that's like this black ball of anger. I think they called it like an anger or hate or something like that. And that black ball has a crack in it due to his like battle from Star and Stripe, but it's not like a physical thing, so it can't be regenerated. It's like a mental crack. So it's almost like there's like this it's like they're trying to explain this small seed of doubt by giving us this like visual image, but there's something about it that is like confusing me a little bit in regards to the just how it's all going down, if that makes sense. Like I understand where they're coming from, but during the episode I didn't find it like engaging, if that makes sense. Like I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite way of just being like this episode was basically here's a chance, or here's why we have a chance of making this work, right? Despite everything Shigaraki's saying, despite all like the uh the death and destruction and like how they said he's just like the embodiment of ruin and stuff like that. It's like despite all of that, we have this shot because there's this crack in his mental strain. It's almost like the show telling me it rather than showing it to me. Like they're showing me that there's no hope in redeeming this man, and then they're telling me there is, right? And I prefer the show to show me that. Like, kind of like, honestly, I preferred it back when they did what I'm talking about back when Mirio, right? Mirio said like, "You don't have any friends, huh?" or something like that, right? I can't remember word for word what it was, but yeah, he said, "You don't have any friends, huh?" And we had that moment where like that little kid like woke up, remembered some of his friends. Get away from my mouth. I hate how I'm talking and the fly just gets close to my like honestly, I don't care if it buzzes around my head, whatever, I can ignore it, but it gets right here and I feel like I'm going to inhale it. I don't want to do that, you know? It's so annoying. I need to it's been bugging me for 2 days now while I'm trying to stream. I've been streaming this game and like half the time I'm sitting here fighting with this damn fly. Oh man. I really just need to get a one of those like fly swatters that are what's it called? That you like press the button and it's like zap. It's like a tennis racket. Anyway, before I get too distracted, I'm sorry guys. This discussion is really shit because of the damn fly. Um, but yeah. So during the Mirio fight, when he said that, we had that moment where Shigaraki kind of broke down. And he's like, "I do have friends, you know. So and so's my friend. So and so's my friend, you know." Like we saw that kid inside. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of thing that I would have liked to see here, rather than these characters just being like, "Yeah, there's a crack in there. You can try to bust it open with some quirks, you know." Like I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I think trying to save Shigaraki is a cool idea. We've known this is coming. This has been built up for like the whole length of the show. Midoriya tries to save people who are assholes. Bakugo was an asshole to him when he was a kid. He still tried to save him. You know, we knew this, but it's just the way that it was kind of explained in this episode just felt a little redundant, and it took up a lot of the episode. But I will say, despite me not liking the dialogue in this episode very much, or at least not all of it, there's actually some aspects of the dialogue I absolutely love. Um, but those few things that I talked about not liking, the visuals were awesome. I love the way they drew Shigaraki with like he's so like cracked and like the weird oh, I got him, motherfucker. Yes. Oh, that little freaking shit stain. Get out of here. Into the trash you go, bitch. Oh. I am so vindicated. Anyway, yeah, so the with that, what was I saying? I'm so distracted. No more distractions. The fly is gone. Uh the visuals on the way, because the way they draw Shigaraki, it's like he has muscles, but he also has these weird like rivet lines going on him, and it looks so like weird but cool at the same time. And like I don't know, in the way they drew his face, like where they dumbed down the features, made it thinner and narrower, and like got rid of his pupils and sharpened his eyes and everything. It just looked pretty badass the way that they drew him and everything. So anyway, moving on from the things. Oh well, actually, I was right here. Is this a contest of strength? There's no way we'll win. I got myself to this point again. I wanted to hear it. That's why we'll attack from within. Crash one for all into the wound by transferring it to him. They even use the image of like all of the vestiges going, but it seems like it's just him, so I'm a little confused. Pry open the wound and strike his mind directly. Transfer, crash. Wait, I'm not sure what you're saying. If it's handed to him, he'll just be able to use it. Will just be at his disposal. Broaden your take on the word transfer. This is where it starts to like. I feel like everything before broaden your. Here's something easy to understand, and it uses Bakugo. I get that. How does that childhood friend of yours pass things to you? And he thinks back to being in class and Bakugo throwing. Depending on how one does it, someone might get hurt. So like my issue is everything before this led to the idea that they might be transferring everything. And then he switches it and he's like, actually, we're just gonna do this. Like, I don't know. It's just that the way they explained that, it's like Midoriya, right? To win this fight, you're gonna have to die. We're gonna have to kill you. And then they're like, well, I don't want to, like, Midoriya's like, well, I don't want to die. And he's like, well, actually, what I mean is you just have to lose a finger. You know, it's like they build up the audience and be like, oh, Midoriya has to die, you know? And then they're like, oh, no, he's just losing a finger. You know, like, he can live with that. But, I don't know. Let me make sure I'm understanding it before. That's what we'll do with One for All, but there's no guarantee. So we'll... Oh! Okay, I missed one line of dialogue. I'm sorry. I bitched a little too soon. Okay. So he's gonna sacrifice himself to test it. There must be some system for just a partial transfer. Were quirk factors that were taken into One for All. Were each part of One for All. And were special factors that were strengthened each time we were linked together. If you hand me over with crushing force, I'll be able to attack without giving him my power. And then they talk about, like, who gets to go. Okay, so let me get this straight. If I'm understanding this right based on the wording, we're forcefully sending Kudo into Shigaraki to see if it works while still being able to keep the quirk, if I'm understanding. Is that what's going on here? And then if that works, like, worst case, he loses gear shift and he doesn't have to worry about the repercussion of gear shift might fade as soon as he loses the quirk. Like, Midoriya might just snap right back to being like fight capable, you know? And then if Shigaraki uses Gear Shift, he then will suffer the backlash of it, I guess. Um, but also, Gear Shift shouldn't be as strong for Shigaraki if the boost isn't going, because like the only reason Gear Shift is so strong is because it's been boosted by One For All. But anyway, um, with that, if that works with Midoriya keeping the quirks, then they're gonna crash every other person's personality. So Midoriya won't have any more vestiges within him. He'll just be him, you know? Which, I mean, I guess maybe that makes sense for, like, Midoriya to have a future where he doesn't have, like, you know, Kudo in his head as he's, like, banging his girlfriend, being like, attaboy, you know? Kinda awkward having him live the rest of his life with these, like, people in his head, so I guess, like, I can see story-wise why it'd be, like, interesting to have him, like, lose all those voices in his head. But, I did want to see... He said, no, I'll go first. Gear Shift is pivotal to this fight. If this fails, Shigaraki will. If Ninth can't move now, he's dead. If he parts with me, he can also part with the recoil. And on the off chance Shigaraki does use me, it will put him straight into the same recoil state. I guess you could argue that because Shigaraki has, like, boosts within him, you know? Like, he has all these different, like, kind of like what All For One does, where, like, spring-like limbs, like, just the tons and tons of different quirks he lists that, like, boost what he's about to do. You could argue that maybe Gear Shift would get boosted in a way that would also give him the repercussions. But anyway, yeah, so I do think this whole thing was like convoluted in the way that it was explained and everything, but it's fine. I mean, I get it. I now that I understand it a little bit better, they are still planning on sending. They still did debate us, right? By us thinking he'd lose all of his power, right? He'd transfer One For All and be quirkless. That's the vibe it gave at first. And then he comes in with, oh, well, no, maybe keep your powers and we'll just go. You know, our minds will go kind of thing and crash into it. But anyway, okay. Enough about that. Let's talk about other things, because other things happened. I loved Midoriya's line where he said that if he was truly over his past, he would have discarded it. But he keeps it there with a lid on it. And I love Midoriya's line where he says, I'll just keep punching until that lid breaks. I really love that. Like he doesn't know what else to do. He's just gonna keep going. And that's pretty crazy. And we had earlier in the episode too, with the whole idea of Shigaraki like thinking to himself like, oh, within like what did he say, like a few days or a few weeks or something, he'd be able to completely sink all of Japan, I think is what he was saying. And yeah, he's just the embodiment of ruin. He's not like All For One, where All For One wants to rule something. He wants to be in charge of something. Shigaraki is like, I want there to be nothing. There should be nothing left. It's crazy. But yeah, man. Danger Sense getting stolen, which, I mean, it is... I do like that Midoriya brought up that he's kind of had it in his mind of, like, not to fully trust Danger Sense because it... Like, there was one time during the Nagant fight that it didn't work for him, and he still got hit regardless. So he still tries to be... You know, it's not like it's just like what All Might said in the past, where if you have a support item, don't just rely on that support item, because then if you don't have it, you're screwed. And Midoriya was like, well, this quirk doesn't always work for me, so I will obviously use it when it triggers, but I will still be, like, aware. I'm not going to slack off and not pay attention to my surroundings just because I have a quirk to do it for me. So, that was really cool. And yeah, I mean, like I said, some of the animation we had was amazing. Midoriya at the end looked crazy. It obviously reminded me of Season 6 Midoriya when he separated from the school and he was off on his own and he had like his really raggedy outfit and everything. He looks so cool. And I'm glad that they didn't spoil that in the opening. Like, they spoiled the Black Whip under the skin, which I'll talk about that in a minute. Um, but they didn't spoil this like really dark, like evil looking of Midoriya, you know. But that's really cool. I love that look. I almost want to go back and look at it again here. Oh man, I would love to use that as a thumbnail, but I try not to put spoiler. Like, I know some of my thumbnails, like if you really wanted to argue it, you could say that they've been a little spoilery, but I try to just do like close up on faces. Like, I think I did All For One's like crazy smile when he like ripped his cheeks or whatever. You could argue that that's a little bit spoilery if people looked close enough, but I also try to dim it so it's like darker and not like super obvious in people's faces. Um, I would never use this image of Midoriya as a thumbnail because that's just so spoilery. It's not even funny. Actually, I need to figure out what I'm going to do for one this time. Honestly, it might just be one of like Shigaraki's crazy faces. Is probably what I'm going to end up doing. Because there were so many good ones this episode, it'll be pretty easy to find one. So anyway, but yeah, some of that animation of just them over the ocean and going through the waves and stuff was really cool. Just some awesome animation in this moment, and once again, Midoriya just shutting down the idea of the Vestiges just wanting to kill him, and Midoriya just still fighting that, and even causing like the tears and with Nana and all that. So, but yeah, also just really cool moment of him like when they explained it, where like a lot of his support gear just like broke off. I don't know if it was from him like flexing or like it almost looks like it disintegrated. So I don't know if it got touched by Shigaraki, but like it didn't extend to him for some reason. But anyway, or he like flexed and broke it. I don't know. But then the Black Whip going like under his skin, you can even there's like some moments where it just looks black, you know. But there's other moments where you can see the grain like tinting through the skin a little bit, which is crazy. Um, just this idea, like we've had it in the past where he wrapped it around the outside to support his arm, but now he's actually wrapping Black Whip like around his muscles. And how did he word it? It would have been right when where did he there was a moment where it was showing it wrap around his arm. It's there in that shot, so it was before this, and he explained exactly. Uh, okay, here it is. While I was immobilized, focusing everything on defense, I kept forcing my muscles to flex using Black Whip. That's crazy. So I could store up. Oh, I understand. What? So Fajin works on like the repetitive motion, right? If I'm understanding right, did he use Black Whip to like repetitive motion his muscles so that way he didn't have to do it in order to like build up Fajin? Yeah, and use Fajin to release blasts of air. That's insane. So technically, with with Black Whip going through like his whole body, he might be able to do that just while he's doing. It's like this whole, you know, we focus so much on Midoriya learning how to do like what they called it. They said like parallel thinking and stuff like that. Where so he's gonna be like using Black Whip to like channel up his left leg while he's using his right leg to kick and using his arms, and then you know while he's using the other body part is channeling up and everything. That's crazy. Now that he has like Black Whip going through his whole body and all that. God damn. I'm pumped to see like that animation of Midoriya at the end. There was some really good animation this episode, as I said. And we didn't even get like this wasn't even like the fight yet. This was just kind of like them taking pot shots at each other. But man, all right. So let's suicide bomb Kudo into Shigaraki and see what happens, and then if that works, suicide bomb the rest of the vestiges, but hopefully keep the powers uh and yeah, I guess because he's like suffering the backlash of gear shift, they're gonna I'm guessing Shigaraki is probably gonna try to get close while Midoriya is like winded, and that's when they're gonna do like the forceful push of Kudo. And then, like they said, either Midoriya loses the quirk and is able to move again, or he keeps the quirk and the attack from Kudo will hopefully buy some time for Midoriya to recover from the gear shift, and then also they're gonna potentially send in the rest of them too. Which, I mean, you know, we might get inevitably, it makes sense, right? Story wise, that we'll get a moment where Nana Shimura is talking to either Shigaraki or the young, like current Shigaraki, or just that young kid, and trying to explain like why she did what she did and everything. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, guys. Like I said, granted, first 4 episodes of the season were peak freaking anime for me. This one didn't 100% nail it. There was still a lot of awesome moments. There was just a little bit of the way that it was told that I wasn't the biggest fan of. Now, I'm curious, is it like the anime's fault or is it the manga's fault? I don't know. I haven't read the manga, so I have no idea if it was told differently that wasn't so like misleading. Really, the biggest thing for me is just the misleadingness of it, where it's like, oh, you're gonna give up one for all. Oh, you're just gonna give up the personalities, of for one for all. So anyway, yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see more. Links in the description below should be popping up on the screen, and I will see you in my future reaction. Bye bye.